Alright, folks, welcome to Lesson 6, The Magic Potion. Now, one of the core concepts you have to train yourself to get used to in trading is slow growth. Slow but consistent growth. Right? Not sudden, impulsive, exponential growth, and that will happen. If you focus on growing slowly but surely for a long period of time, then that's going to become your norm. Your norm is going to become you growing slowly. And eventually, and this is going to happen to every single one of you who sticks around long enough, eventually you will have an explosive month or year or even trade, which completely changes your life. But along the way, and all the way up until that moment of exponential growth, you've already been growing slowly but consistently. And that is the magic of compound interest. Right? So again, if you find yourself to be a hasty, impulsive kind of person, then you're going to have to go and train yourself to not be a hasty, impulsive person. You're going to have to train yourself to change the way you are, and that's a very difficult part for most people, is admitting they are flawed, admitting they're flawed, and fixing the flaws, staring into the mirror, and fixing the person that they are. Right? Because most people are just incompetent, inadequate, and not built to succeed in trading automatically. They have to go and forge themselves into a successful trader. And that's not a bad thing. Now, in trading, we have three major concepts which are very often mixed up due to the lack of reliable compiled information on the internet. But here you have it. You have technical edge, you have risk to reward ratio, and you have risk management. Three very closely related but mixed up concepts, which will be cleared right now. Technical edge, excuse me. Technical edge is, and this is not some internet definition, this is my definition. Right? I don't borrow information from other people. I create and author information. Right? So a technical edge is a data-backed technical analysis system which you deploy as your principal trading strategy when participating in the market. Very simple, straightforward, and that's a theme I want to get you used to and see you. Is I don't delve too much into unnecessary details, right? So just keep it short, sweet, and useful. Risk to reward is a measurable quantification of the amount of money in dollars or euros or whatever, the amount of money you risk in order to make a certain amount of money in return. Meaning, if it's 1-to-1 RR, what does that mean? That means you're risking $1 to make $1. 1-to-2 RR is you're risking $1 in order to potentially make $2. 1-to-3 RR is you're risking $1 in order to potentially make $3. Right? And of course, the larger amount you place in the trade, you simply multiply that by 100 or 1,000 or whatever. And then you have risk management. Now, RR, risk to reward, and risk management are often mixed up. RR is the amount of money you risk in order to potentially make a certain amount of money. And risk management is the art of closely monitoring, quantifying, and controlling what percentage or what percent of your entire trading account you lose per trade. Right, and now we have a question, which is, which one is more important? And before we answer the question, a summary of these three. Technical edge is basically your strategy. RR is how much money am I risking in order to make how much money? And risk management is how much percent of my entire account am I losing per trade? Right, is that clear? And if you haven't been taking notes up until now, then this is the time to stop, pause the video, and grab a notebook and a pen and start writing down everything. I remember in the previous lecture I told you to have a specific notebook for CU, right? I'll give you 10 seconds to get a notebook. All right, some of you did, some of you didn't. And if you didn't, then go and get it right now. Now, which one is more important? Technical edge, win rate, or RR and risk management? And this is a question I want you to answer in your head right now before I reveal the answer. Which one is more important, or do they carry the same weight? I'll give you 5 seconds. Now, if you answered technical edge and win rate, then you are wrong. The more important concept to master and understand and prioritize is RR and risk management. And the reason for this is simple. If you have your risk management on point, then you can lose. You can win, you can lose, you can make money, you can lose money, and over a large enough sample of trades, you will end up being profitable. Right, obviously with CRT and turtle soup, with my system, you will have a higher win rate if you follow the teachings. But even if you don't, then risk management and a good risk-reward ratio will save you. If you have a very, very, very high win rate, 90%, which none of you is going to have, so let's say 70, 60%. If you have which is considered pretty good, by the way, if you have 60%, then that's an excellent win rate. If you have 60% or 70% win rate, and you win 9 trades in a row, right? Or 8 trades in a row, you can easily blow your account on the next trade because you don't understand risk management. And that's an example I give often to both to my students in order to demonstrate and drill the idea of the importance of risk management. Risk management prevails over your win rate and your strategy. Right, so it is the foundation that you stand on. It is the mountain that you go and you rely on, and you can lay back on it, and it'll hold you when times are tough, when you're on a losing streak, when you're not so on it, right? When you are having a bad time and letting your life affect your trading, right? You're fighting with your wife, you're fighting with your family, or your husband, and you're letting your personal problems spill into your trading, therefore fucking up your trading. Maintaining a good risk management will keep you alive long term. Now, when you pair good risk management with a high win rate, then that is the recipe for exponential growth, and that comes after a long time and a lot of practice. But once it comes, it's yours forever, and it's very, very worth the long wait. Right? Now, another reason that risk management prevails is the streak of death. That's what I call it. And it is the concept that every single trader, no matter how experienced, will be faced by the 8-trade losing streak. It comes unannounced, right? It's a lethal, unpleasant surprise to the unexpecting trader. No matter how good you are, if you trade long enough, then you will be faced by an 8-trade losing streak, which means you will place 8 trades and you will lose them all. If you don't have a good risk management when you face this streak of death, then your account will be blown. And rule number 1 in trading is preserve your capital, because if you have no capital, you can't trade. Right? If you have an account, then you can make a mistake and you can place another trade and fix your mistake. But if you have no more money left in the account, right? If you take the account from $10,000 to $0, then you can't trade anymore. Unless, of course, you go and deposit more, which is never the solution. The solution is never to keep depositing more money. Right? That's just silly. Because insanity or stupidity is doing the same thing again and again, expecting another result. Right? So depositing more is never the answer, even though it's very tempting. Right? It's like a restart button, and that's where you can go down the casino mindset. Just deposit more and play again. That's not how trading works. Right? It is the reality of most traders, but that's not how it's supposed to work. Fix your mistakes and preserve capital, because you never know when the streak of death is going to come. It could be your next trade, right? And it should be on your mind when every single time you place a trade. Yes, every single time you place a trade, you should have it in the back of your mind that, you know what, this could be the beginning of an 8-trade losing streak. Am I risking adequately? And yes, you can go ahead and say, you know what, Doc, that sounds a bit paranoid. And I will answer that with, yes, it is. I am a very, very paranoid, conservative trader. And that's how I've reached the level I've reached. By being very paranoid and very, very conservative. Because I'm controlling my risk. I have limited risk and therefore unlimited or asymmetric reward. Right? And only the paranoid survive, folks. Now here's another table. Once you understand this, then you have this table gives you the confidence in the power of risk to reward ratio. Right, so one thing is risk management, and another thing is risk to reward ratio. And this will all be part of the exam. So study hard next year. Now, with a 1 to 3, let's start from down. With a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, you need to have a win rate of 25% to make money, right? Which means if you are using a fixed 1 to 3 risk to reward per trade, and I don't advise using fixed risk to reward, right? We'll get into that later. But if your average risk to reward ratio is 1 to 3, then you only have to be right a little bit more than 25% of your trades to make money, which means you can lose out of each 10 trades, you can lose 7 trades and you will still make money. If you have a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which means you risk $1 to make $2, then you have to be right a little bit above 33% of the chance only in order to make money. Right, which means you can lose, out of every 10 trades, you can lose 6 trades. And if you only have a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, then you'll make money, right? And so on. And of course, the more you decrease the risk to reward ratio, the more win rate you need, right? But we're aiming for the last one, right? Which is a 1 to 3, which is pretty reasonable. It's not too exaggerated. Aim for an average, like most of your trades will be 1 to 3 risk to reward, and that way you only need to be right a little bit more than 25% of the trades you take, which means if you are right 3 times out of every 10 trades, you'll make money. If you are right 30 times out of every 100 trades you take, you will make money. And that's something to pause and think about, because that's incredible, right? The power of blending risk to reward with understanding just how little you need to have, how little of a win rate you need to have. Blending that with a risk management is a magic potion for consistent compounding growth, which over the years ends up being something massive, because as the saying goes in Arabic, إن الجبال من الحصى. إن الجبال من الحصى. Mountains, don't belittle a small one. Mountains are made from pebbles. Right? Journal, journal, journal. The most important trading book you will read in your life, after my book, is your own trading journal. Right? Again, the most important trading book you'll read in your life is your trading journal. Most of you probably don't even have, and I'm pretty sure don't even have, a physical book. Probably not even a digital, like organized book where you journal your trades. And that applies to most traders. Most traders do not have a trading journal, and most traders fail. They fail miserably long term. Now, why journal? In every single profession in life, and again, I'm going to remind you mid-lecture again and again, to make sure to note things down. Right, and later I'll include a note-taking guide in the private group. Right, but take notes. Why a journal? Because every single professional in every single profession around the world journals in some way, shape, or form. The doctor, right? When I have a patient, then I have to, when he comes in, before touching him, I have to ask him his medical history, his allergies, his, I register information in a piece of paper. Same thing with the engineer, with the lawyer, with even the cashier has to give you a receipt, right, at the most basic level. So journaling and registering information is a part of every single professional. So you, as a professional trader, why should you not journal? Right? It's a very, very powerful tool, and it is, I dare say, it is the difference between a profitable trader and a non-profitable losing gambling addict. Right? They're not even worthy of being called traders. If you don't have a trading journal, then you're not worthy of being called a trader. You're just gambling and playing around. You're not serious about this, right? Because the more serious you are about trading, then the more effort you put, the more money and time and mental fatigue you spend. Right? So you can quote me on that, which is the difference between a profitable trader and an unprofitable trader is the trading journal. Right? Now, journaling rules. Have a physical book for journaling. Journal every single trade you take. Yes, every single trade you take, no exceptions. Including before, during, and after photos and details of each operation. For example, I'm looking. It doesn't have to be too complex, right? Because I know some of you will go down the hole of focusing too much on the journal and therefore less on the trading itself, and vice versa, right? But balance is the key to life and is also the key to journaling, right? So you should have, a quick example is, I'm looking to buy Bitcoin at so-and-so before, with a picture, at so-and-so key level. Before, during, after. During, Bitcoin has reached the key level, and I'm now buying because of so-and-so. And then after the trade is over, which is either by the stop loss or the target, right? So the trade is over either by hitting your stop loss or by hitting your target, or by you deciding to manually close it because you didn't like the reaction, which is also valid. Right, but every single trade you take should be journaled with photos and details of each operation, before, during, and after. Some more tips is write about your emotions and reactions. Excuse me. And this is not something to gloss over. Write about your emotions and reactions to price and to each trade you take. Because eventually, and this is going to be part of the second video library, is a very high level of trading is trading on emotions. Now, it doesn't mean trading emotions, it means trading based on emotions of the masses, which is something you'll learn later, right? Use encouraging language in your journal. Don't insult yourself. Don't say you suck, you're retarded, right? And I'm pretty sure you've been through that, all of you, is you lose and you start, you take it out on your family, on your friends, you abuse yourself, and it can range from a very, very low level of, just self, like punching the wall, or cursing whoever's near you, all the way up to suicide. And I've seen all cases. May God prevent us from reaching that level, right? So it's very important to train yourself to not overreact. Use encouraging language in your journal. Don't insult, don't cuss yourself, don't abuse yourself, and don't curse yourself, right? Be very pragmatic, be very logical, be, in trading, be emotionless, right? And the journal, one of the biggest goals of the journal is to become a mistake-correcting machine. Because the goal is not to have pretty drawings and pretty photos. That's good because it shows that you're good at, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So if you have a pretty journal, that means you are good, you're an organized person. But never miss the end goal of the journal, which is to correct your mistakes. Because what matters more than the glitter and the glamour and the outfit is the result and the action, the substance. Right? You're using the journal in order to correct your mistakes. You make mistakes in trading. You lose. You fuck up. You don't know what you're doing. That is going to be corrected by your trading journal. Right? And it can be summarized really in my law of journaling, which is win, journal, repeat, lose, journal, avoid, miss, journal, catch next time. This is the summarized assessment after each trade. Right? I hope you found that insightful. I wish you good luck, good trading, and see you in Chapter 7.